So that's how the tests look like. Now, when you have that, then you'll be able to show, and that's why when you want to do your printing as an activity, you must have a backup for me. You must have a backup. Sometimes you open 1, 2, 3, 4. You might not get this quality, so you have to continue killing until you get it. I may be okay. You open the first one and it's okay. So you do it, but then you must have the backup because once you get your fish, you are not going to wait. Is that okay? Except you wait that particular fish. Okay. Okay. That's how to assess our male fish. So now let's go back to the female fish. Let's go back to the female fish. Now the female have told us that the two opening can also be reddish. Of course, another sign that I'm going to look for is that the belly must be swollen. We call that gravid. The fish must be gravid. Is that okay? Branch tummy, swollen belly. Sorry, sir. Swollen belly. Of course, you know that fish is what? It's loaded with what? Egg. It's a sign of presence of egg in the tummy. Is that okay? Of course, the two opening might be red. That's another guide. Then that also is an external picture. But then you need to actually do a little exercise for you to confirm whether the female can be used or not. The fish might be loaded with egg. Maybe it might not be ready for that purpose. Is that okay? It's loaded with egg, but it might not be ready for that purpose. All together. So it means that when you select such a female that is loaded, you are going to actually bring it out. Then you press the tummy, you press the belly. That fish must be able to release some few eggs. Then after you see that period, now you now assess the quality of that particular egg. So one, the egg must not be clustered. It must not come together. They must be separated. That's the first thing I'm going to check. After you assess that material, press the tummy, then they must not be what? They must be separated. Again, also check the color of the egg. The color also is a factor of what? The age of the fish. And the color test from green, light green or dark green, to what? Golden brown. So what makes the fish go to that extent is the age of the fish. The older the fish, the tendency that the color will be golden green. So golden brown. Is that okay? But then it is good that I use a very good sexually matured fish because the truth is matter is that when you use an older fish, so the golden color is the best. It's just that when you compare the quantity of egg that they are going to get from the fish, there might be fewer. Fewer things of even one equal, but when you look at the size, the diameter, they will be bigger. They will be bigger in diameter. How much to be size from what to be the 1 year long. But I think about 2 years, 2.5 years. The egg will be fewer, but the egg size will be bigger. Of course, when you hatch that kind of egg, the thing that will go better than the other one is there. But after you have the experiment, and those ones do better than you using there. And that's why we don't advise that you should 9 months. Let it be 1 year and above. Is that okay? So the coloration is also matter. So when you have that, then you'll be able to know that this fish is what is ready for that purpose. So now let's go back to the other slide. So now with that key points, we know that we have been able to select our male and female fish, right? If you are following me. So what's the next thing? The next thing is what? No. The first point that she said, after my the selection of no,
okay, the brothers, so parents, fish, no.
Yes, the Buddhas are now acclimatized. How do you acclimatize your fish? Very, very important. You know, tí tẹ bá ló lóyún, ẹ máa ṣe pẹ̀lẹ́pẹ̀lẹ́ àbí? Wọ́n ṣẹlẹ̀ tí wọ́n towards the labour period. You can't just bring fish, either male or female, from other farms. Meaning that when you want to do that exercise, at least minimum of 2 or 3 days, get your booster. If you don't have them in your farm, make sure that you acclimatize them. How do you acclimatize? Put them in. You might actually sterilize them because of disease. Put them separately. Even if you have your pool of broodstock, before you carry out the exercise, you have to select based on those things that we have talked about, right? And then take that particular fish out of the pool. You are going to put it separately, the male and the female. So you will leave them of the stress. Just the process of acclimatization. Is that okay? If I'm bringing my broodstock from the north now, I might leave that fish for the best 5 days before I use it for that purpose. But if I bring it within Lagos, I might leave for 2 days before I use it for that purpose. If not, you can't just bring them like that and then use them the same day. They will not give you the best results. Are we together? So acclimatization is very, very crucial. If you want that, you leave them with their stress. Then, of course, after that, you have to inject the female fish. Hello. Then what do you use to inject our female fish? Remember, part of our material, our equipment is what? Is hormone. So we have 2 types of hormone. Of course, we know we have natural hormone. We have what? The artificial hormone or synthetic hormone. So the natural hormone is gotten from what? The edge of the skull of the male. It's called pituitary gland. Are we together? Do you know how to use that pituitary gland? How many of us are using it? Not often. Or it can be used, of course. Then the synthetic one. There are 3 ones that are common. The overtime and the ovulin. But some okay, I don't know if you are gravid, if you are pregnant, your urine can also be used to inject the fish.
And they will not be injected. And they will not be injected.
They cannot, there will not be. No. But then, will not be to a so, well, just an information, of course, you have access to all these other ones. Hello. I don't like to mention it because I know it creates some kind of yes. So now let's talk about natural hormone first. If you should take pituitary gland. Of course, like I said, it's starting from what? The male skull.
Yes.
That tiny white particle, round, you might not be able to extract it because of time. But I know some of us have the experience. I don't think you're So now, of course, when you have that, there is a critical thing that you need to know. There is a critical, okay, of course, most of them know more that you have. So, when you want to use natural hormone, please note this. You have to consider the age of the male. It's very, very crucial. It has to be the same age, because the same size rather. The size of the male fish now has to be the same or more than that of the female if you are going to get results. That means the age of the donor must be same or higher than that of the receptor. Am I communicating? So that's one thing about the natural hormone. You have to take that into consideration if you want to use that. But how do you use it? When you extract it, of course, you are going to first of all crush it. Then you are going to dilute with saline water before you can get to your syringe or your needle. All together. But a lot of us know it. The technical hormones are there. We have overpain, overtime, ovulin. They are there in the market. Is that okay? Now let's look at those are the things that are going to inject. How do we inject our fish? How do we do injection? Okay, because we are not going to talk about this fish. Assuming you have a table size fish now, we can do the demonstration here. But then let's use our mic as a potential fish. Are we together? Oh, this mic is very good. Okay, fish ní orí àbí? Fish has head àbí? These are what? Fish head. This one is what? This one is what? The body àbí? Okay. Now, when you want to do your injection, please note this. There is a line in the body of the fish. It's called lateral line. Okay, this on our switch button will serve at what? Of course, I'm going to demonstrate it here. We won't do the practical. But because of this choice, let's look at this. Put your focus here first, right? So these are fish abi. Now, this on and off button is what? Is our what? Lateral line. So when you want to inject your fish, please, you don't inject the fish below the lateral line. And you find the line, it's a line that separates the fish into two equal parts. Lateral side. So now you don't inject below the lateral line, you only inject above the lateral line. Of course, the lateral lines are the both sides of the fish. Just if you have not taken account of it, just check your body. All fish from the head towards the tail. Is that okay? Now, when you want to inject, please, you have to repeat this with me. So, inject, say it, above the lateral line, around the head region, around the head region, towards the tail, at I go 45. Who can repeat that? Who can repeat that? I'm not doing it. I don't know. I don't know. I just ask a question. Who can repeat? If you are sure of yourself, let me see answer. I don't want to close answer. How do you want to try? Inject. Yes, say it now. Okay. The down low. Inject above the lateral line in the head region toward the tail at 45 degrees. Oh, thank you. I don't know. Even though you don't use my sentence, but at least. So you see, it's very crucial because when you get below the lateral line, or you inject on the lateral line, you are killing the fish. You are killing the fish. It's not advisable. Please, it's not advisable. That's why I said you should repeat it. Above the lateral line, you are making the fish to be weak. It's like someone try to know Ebola one. That when you shoot animal, that you be sued. You'll be sanctioned. Yes. Please, that's the way you get your fish. Are we together? Are we together? Exactly. Please. So, come on, people have any of this food. Come on, come on. So, come on, do solo no. Come on, do solo in lab. So, but say to what it was. So, you cannot think money. And my man, why should you guys listen? Job. So that's how we can get. Please, we still have not going to go. Let's quickly. Okay, that's how it will inject. Now, what you use to inject, either the natural hormone or the artificial hormone, will determine the time for spawning or stripping. Let me use our common language. Type is a factor of what the type of hormone that you have used, and then we now go back to our first point when we start that you actually must go what enclosed. If you don't have the right temperature, that process will be delayed. Normally, when you inject with your natural hormone, definitely from 10 hours to 11 hours, when your temperature, your fish will be ready for spawning. But when you use any of this, 9 hours, you are going to what? Expect that the fish will be ready for what? For spawning. Spawning is the pressing of the head from the female fish. Is that okay? Or stripping. Is that okay? But then the dosage of this that you're going to use. I told us the natural hormone that you have to be the same age, the same size or above. But for this, it is written on the bottle. Either I know overplay is 0.5 ml per watt per 1 kg. So if I have a fish of that means you must know the weight of your female fish before you know what you are going to use to inject. Okay, if this one is 7.5 per kg, so if I have a fish of 1.2, how many meal am I going to use? How many meal? 0.7. How do you calculate 0.7? That's please, it's very 0.5 for 1 kg. But you don't know that all these little matters. For example, this is about 17,000 or so. 17. You got already 2.5, 3,000. So you cannot invest excess. You are wasting because you are wasting resources. At the end of the day, you are increasing your cost of production. All together. So this is business, please. Every little thing matters. So daddy, you have just wasted your money without calculation. Because you not get it. Solomon.
That's 0.5 times 2, that's 1 meal. Then the other 1.2, that's 1.2.
I want to ask SS 2.8 cents. I said 7.7 I said 1.2. I said 1.2 kg. Alájà ìpàdé fún ẹ pàdé bàlájà ẹ má pàdé bàlájà. Àwọn tó wà lẹ́yìn ọ̀rọ̀ sí kíláàsì. Are you part of us? Okay. If you divide my class again, if you don't pay authority for now, what about but I'll tell you I'm the son of the son. So please let's pay attention. So it's 7.6. And you just multiply the dosage times the weight of the fish. Hello, give your calculator multiply 7.5 times 1.2. They give you the answer. All together. So let's continue. So that's what you use to inject your fish. Please, you need to calculate the dosage before you inject. Right? So if you use that and that, it's not going to work because these are recommended. Go, because my experience, I don't like to say this when I'm doing lecture. We see dilute this further. Because people that do this, they know the potency, and they don't know how when it will get to the farmer. Though it has a time limit as well. There's a way with dilute to actually make more volume. I know why you ask me, but I don't want to encourage people to do it because if you are not careful, you might not get the result. You don't know how to do it. So I will not give you the no. Please stick to what the recommended. Don't be sick. It's not basic now. It's not basic. If you ask very true female, and then they come out like maybe 70%, 80%. Owó dé àbí? Owó dé. No matter how much food you use, owó dé ni. Sure. Say that sure very well. Sure. Because that's why we see a lot of people go into this one without knowing the technicality, and it creates problem for people that will go into this house. So I don't mean if you come to me as a novice, I say I want to do I say go, but you go and sit down, go and learn production first and acquire some skill before you go to this because I know the implication. I said you are going to waste your money, but eventually you are successful. I said you sell your fish seed to people, you are going to pay problem for them. Is that okay? So now the time is 9, provided that you have the right temperature. So after that, what we do next is what? Fertilization. So the right temperature is more of that of water, which range between 25 degrees to 30. Is that okay? So how do you control that if you don't have it in the close in the equation? Assuming it's outside here, you don't have any influence on how to manipulate the environmental factor temperature. Assuming it's closed now, even if you have strong harmattan, the door is closed, everything is closed. What you can do lighting. So vanilla, charcoal pour, put it in to build up the environmental heat. It will affect the temperature of the water. So I have the right temperature because when you inject as well, you put them in a weather like this, they will not be ready for that 9 hours. It can be delayed. Sometimes, like the one we did last, over to 10.5 hours, we don't actually sleep because of that was last week, because of the weather. But today is even fair. Ọmọ kí ló máa pàtẹ́ kò tó máa ń fẹ́ láti jẹ́ mẹ́ta ọ̀gbọ́n. So the temperature was so low. So it's not that everything that you are doing, I might not be able to get the same results. I'm together. Now, our fish is ready. So you are going to spawn. How do you spawn? Let's see this slide. Listen. Okay, this here is that's spawning we are doing here. Is that okay? So you can see that somebody is holding the head, somebody is holding the tail with napping because the body of the fish was sleeping. So at that time, you are going to keep them very tender. You don't want them to struggle. Whatever struggle you know, I'm telling you, I'm always saying you. So you have to hold them firm. And then this handling is very crucial. And it also depends, it's a factor of what? The age, the size of the fish. Bigger fish are very difficult to handle. Ìgbà míì tí wọ́n jẹ́ ìjà tó ti wọ bí 3 kilo 4 kilo tó jẹ́ female. Èèyàn mẹ́ta ló máa, èèyàn bá dorí mú, èèyàn bá dìrù mú, then the third person will be do the sleeping. Is that okay? But why did you say that two are below 2 kg below? 2 people can still do it. There's no way one individual can sleep like the fish. So meaning that somebody will have to handle the head. And don't do it, then we have then again, what I want to say is the bone. You have the bone that you're going to use to sleep must be free of water. At this stage, it has to be very dry. Of course, again, anything you want to do in the process, from here, from your incubator, from all the gears, everything I want to use, please, first of all, sterilize them. Wash them very well. Sterilize them with salt water to kill any pathogen in the jar before you start all the process. Are you together? Even your liver is in and bleed, please, because I don't give mine in my health contamination. So here at this thing, the bowl must go out free of water. Then when you bring the female out of the water as well, please, you need to also dry the belly with your napping. Clean Google me so that you will see. Because any very little space, hole, teach family, mix about the envelope that I showed you the other time. They made something is called meat in fish instead of fermentation in woman. So the meat, when it will go through, we have to actually fertilize. There is a very little open space. But if they get in contact with water here, the head will swallow, will be swollen. And therefore that hole will be blocked. So that fertilizer will not take place. So at this process, please avoid what? Avoid what? Avoid what? Okay. So this is skipping. So after skipping, you do what you call fertilization. You do fertilization. So how do you do fertilization? These are our meat. You can see that with your blade, you have to open up the testes so that to release the meat. Now, you have 2 methods of fertilization. It's either you are doing dry fertilization or you are doing what? Wet fertilization. I know that the wet fertilization is common and that's what naturally advanced. But because of honesty, there are sometimes you might not have you might be doing it and you forget your saline solution. That process you can still do it. Exactly. All you do, once you open with your plastic spoon, you're not adding anything. With your side or your feather, try and mix the meat very well. Of course, if you have a very good meal, and actually that's 2 tests might be enough for 2 or 3 female, depending on how big the test is. Is that okay? So Abi, ọkùnrin kan náà lè jẹ́ àwọn mẹ́fà bí. Ọkùnrin kan lè jẹ́ àwọn mẹ́fà. So good tests can actually be enough for what? 2 or 3 female, depending on the numbers of them that you have actually acquired. Now you open it up, allow it to mix with your spoon. You gently, you understand, or sometimes no, you are doing fertilization now. This is fertilization. You have already split the egg. See the egg now. So now you open the sac, the testis to get the meat. So it's like liquid. You see, female are very thick. So you allow it to mix with the egg. Then with your plastic food, you mix them together thoroughly to actually ensure even what fertilization. That is dry. Dry. You are not. Or sometimes me, I just rub the bowl. Then I leave it for a quite of some time, some minutes, to make sure that the mix goes right. But if you are not sure to ensure fertilization, then you do one more wet fertilization. At that point, you can actually add saline water. Saline water is just water, salt water solution. But if you are buying it, please don't prepare it by yourself. You understand? It's just 7.9 in 1 liter, but don't do it. Because I don't like people to do it. Why? Because when you consider the table sauce you are using, and we have an Abi, Carlos Tuesday, Dangote, which other one? Chef. When you take them, they are not on the same position. So you can never determine 9.9 of this can be given from that. So and if the environment is too harsh, it's too salty, you are going to kill the egg. You are going to kill the meat. Is that okay? Please buy from the pharmaceutical pharmacies. And when you are buying, please you buy the one without glucose. It's not water without what glucose. So we will have to whatever week in the hospital. Just in short, it might glucose. So now, so when I want to do wet, I add little saline water, not ordinary water, saline water. It's just to ensure that you have even fertilization. You have increased the volume of the meat now to actually go round when you mix. So after mixing, sorry for transition. So, so please, you need to answer question, but then please know them because it will drag us back. I'll be time for question and answer. So after session is okay, swelling, then of course after swelling the organization, then what? Incubation. So incubation now is just the fertilized egg now, you're going to spread them on the what? On the cassava, on the next material, the substrate. Is that okay? So after that, then of course with the right temperature, I told us that everything here is depends on what temperature. Without that temperature, you expect your egg to start hatching within 18 to what? 24 hours. In fact, there was a time where we have a very high intense temperature. We have witnessed it under 16 hours. I saw my egg. A lot of them, over 70% have started hatching. So that's to tell you that the housing is very crucial. Very, very crucial. Don't be successful. Because what if you delay all these processes, along the line, you get the process get contaminated. And you go back quickly. Ó sì lè retain green colour bóyá that green or kìíní. But tó bá ti ń lo 30 something hour nínú omi, tó bá ti before you know it, moisture will set in and everything will white. So please ensure to have your actually in what in the equation. So now, so they set to hash between 18, so it can be prolonged to 30, even 72 hours. Then the factor of this is a lot of factor that will prolong, that will make whether it will still be good even at 72 hours. It's your management. And then you go to manage the water. Is that okay? But then please do the right thing so that you have the right results. So these are some of the incubators that we can use. The first one here is what? So I want to hold the back. I want to remember. So we have it. Can serve as what? Your what? This one is the wooden bat, right? That one is common. So this is what we have here. This is what we have here. This chemical type. You can actually use it as food, or you can cut it to chew. Is that okay? So of course, these are specially made for what? Of course, some people also use the concrete, but near Safoni might be difficult because the attempt is on the rich platform. Don't do it on that ground. Let it be a little bit. Yes, it's okay. So that Safoni will be very, very effective. So now we have incubated our egg. We have waited for 18 to 24 hours and they are start hatching. This is another where a lot of farmers are making a lot of error. They want to wait that every egg must hatch must hatch before they take off the takaba. Please don't wait. Most especially when we have this kind of celebration. If you are lucky and you have 50% that are hatched already, what you can do is, okay, me, I have other bats. I'll prepare another bat. If I know that some of the egg are still retain their color, that they have the possibility that they are going to hatch, I will take it away from there and put it in another fresh bat incubator so that the process can continue. Taking them away at that time, even for that few seconds, will not actually affect anything. It's not okay. The process will still continue. It's better than you leaving it in that medium, waiting for water to hatch. At the end of the day, pollution will set in. Because you see some of the egg, even at the beginning, after maybe a few hours, some of them are turning to white already. When you see such a sign, it's a sign of what? Dead egg. Those ones are dead already. Are you together? So of course, when they are already died, so what happened? They start decaying, deteriorating. So those are the first source of what? Contamination. So once you see 50% and above ashing, and above ash, of course you can imagine the numbers. So of course in 1 gram of the egg, you have almost a 600 to 700 ash level 5 that can come out of this. So please, ever should be cocoa because this will affect your total production as well. Please remove the cacao when you have actually achieved this to prevent what pollution by what on ash. So the ashes are left under unfed for 40 to 72 hours. This is another critical place where a lot of farmers are making mistakes. So now I will give this microphone to a farmer here to tell me his or her practice. So let me start with this my sister here. Hello. So tell me, when do you start to feed your fish, your ashes? When do you introduce fish to them? How do you come? So she said, say it again.
After 3 days.
After what?
3 days.
So please, after 3 days, is she right or wrong? Is she right or wrong? All right, but then, how do you calculate your 3 days?
I completed my 3 days. Immediately after action.
After Ashley.
After that's the first day.
So he said after 24 hours. Okay. Sometimes, if care is not taken, she's feeding at day 4. She's feeding at day 4. Hmm? Go and sit down. You are feeding at day 4. And I joke. That's the point I want to take out. And that is why we have a lot of mortality, even from that day before. Because the first feeding is the sack yolk that except they absorb, okay, let's go. We'll get there. So feeding commence together with other microbes until the fish go to fingers and mineral stage when they are automatically and do output. So all this one, catch fish fingerlings in mind that it